Following his weight loss journey on the show 1,000 Pound Sisters, Chris Combs was motivated to concentrate on developing his professional career. His role as a supporting cast member on the much-loved reality show helped Chris, who is now 44 years old, establish a reputation for himself. Since the first episode of the series aired in the year 2020, Chris has been a fan favorite and has played a significant role. The experiences of Tammy Slaton, who is 38 years old, and her sister, Amy Slaton, who is 37 years old, are the primary focus of the show. However, numerous of their other siblings, including Chris, are also a part of the voyage. As time went on, fans grew to adore Chris's upbeat demeanor and his approach to weight loss that was filled with joy. Chris weighed more than 450 pounds when he made his debut on the television show 1,000 Pound Sisters, and he was not living his best life because of his weight. As a member of his family, who relied significantly on him, he aspired to be a good example for them to follow. His daughter, who was beginning to struggle with her own weight, was extremely important to him, and he wanted to demonstrate to her how to be a good example. In the same way that Chris's father had passed away when he was roughly the same age as Chris, Chris did not want the same thing to happen to him. After undergoing bariatric surgery, Chris reduced his weight by 150 pounds, and I believe that hitting this weight loss milestone was the catalyst that prompted Chris to refocus his attention on his professional life. After losing such a big amount of weight in such a short period of time, Chris's quality of life was much enhanced, but there was a significant drawback as well, as the 1,000 Pound Sisters Season 6 star was left with a great deal of loose, superfluous skin. Putting aside the appearance of the skin, the more significant problem is that it poses a unique set of issues in terms of hygiene. When there is a large amount of skin, it is difficult to prevent the growth of harmful germs, which can result in an infection. In point of fact, Chris was diagnosed with precisely this kind of infection at one point in time, which necessitated medical care. Due to the weight of the additional skin, it is difficult to walk around, let alone engage in physical activity. It is not surprising that Chris is so eager to get the skin surgically removed, given the numerous challenges that are posed by the fact that he is lugging about a significant amount of loose, excess skin. He couldn't wait to meet his physician in the hopes that he would be given permission to do the cosmetic treatment. A visit to the physician was made by the entire Slaton family during the first episode of the 6th season of 1,000 Pound Sisters. Chris came to the realization that he had experienced a disheartening setback in his efforts to lose weight when he stepped on the scale. I was one of the people who was surprised to learn that Chris had not dropped as much weight as he believed he had. When Chris stepped on the scale, he found that he weighed approximately 300 pounds, which was the same weight that he had achieved during his most recent visit to the doctor, which had occurred many months previously. In the 6th season of Sisters, the star who weighed 1,000 pounds anticipated seeing a different number when he went on the scale. The news that he had reached a plateau came as a complete surprise to him because he had believed that he had lost at least 15 pounds since his previous visit. To add salt to injury, the physician did not grant Chris's request for skin removal surgery because he believed that Chris needed to decrease his weight by a significant amount first. The good news is that Chris responded to the disheartening news with a positive attitude and made a commitment to redouble his efforts to reduce his weight. I believe that Chris's positive attitude is the reason why he is so well liked by the viewers of the show. The 1,000 Pound Sister star is going to need to raise a lot more money in order to achieve his goal of losing the weight that is required to be eligible for skin removal surgery. Chris is more driven than ever before to achieve this goal. There are a number of very expensive cosmetic procedures that are included in skin removal surgery, and the total cost of these procedures is close to $100,000. Chris has been forced to take on additional job because the income for appearing on a reality show on TLC is significantly lower than what would be required to fund expenses of that nature. In addition to his role on the show, Chris is employed in the fast food service industry, specifically at McDonald's, where he holds the position of manager. Kris, in addition to his responsibilities as a manager at McDonald's and his appearances on the show 1000 Pound Sisters, is also a seller of famous messages on Cameo and has just recently unveiled a delightful new side job. Brittany Combs, Kris's wife, expressed her interest in selling pecan pies in a recent post on Facebook. It is possible that Kris is currently on a diet, and as a result, he is not permitted to consume pecan pie. There is a possibility that Kris is dissatisfied with his weight reduction plateau, and nonetheless, I believe that the star of Sisters Season 6, who weighs 1,000 pounds, ought to be happy of the remarkable progress he has made over the years. Kris's life was transformed significantly as a result of his weight loss, and in March, his physician, Dr. Eric Smith, shared an incredible before and after picture of Kris on Instagram. There is a picture of Kris on the left that was taken before he lost weight, and it shows him wearing his uniform from the fast food restaurant. On the right side of the picture is a more current picture of Kris doing a 5K run. Reality television stars have the potential to earn a significant amount of money by making appearances at conventions. In addition to the possibility of receiving payment for their appearances, it may also result in the introduction of them to audience members who may become new admirers. In a recent post on Instagram, the National Corvette Museum made an announcement that Kris will be attending their convention in March and that he would be accompanied by his wife, Brittany. It is said in the text that Kris will be attending this convention for the very first time. I am not sure why the National Corvette Museum would want Kris to make an appearance at their convention, but I believe that it is fantastic regardless of the circumstances. It is my goal that it will lead to more opportunities for Kris, particularly if the event goes well for the co-star of the show on Sisters who weighs 1,000 pounds. The flyer that was posted includes a picture of Kris dressed in his Western attire, as well as another picture of Kris and Brittany posing together, which may indicate that Brittany will be attending the event with Kris. As is the case with everyone else, I am rooting for Kris, and I sincerely hope that he is able to make enough money to pay for the operation that he desires. The name, Combs, Kris. Happy birthday. I was 44 years old on October 29, 1980. Relationship status. Brittany Combs is the married woman. Gains in weight. 175 kilograms.